Jeff will be back. Goodness.
Okay, it is Thursday, February 4th, 2021. We'll call a meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and upborn.
Okay, minutes and reports received and filed.
Yes, we have the county clerk's January 2021 fees were received and filed, and the sheriff's office January 2021 fees were received and filed.
Do y'all have anything new that you're doing this weekend that we can legitimately talk about?
Nope, think I'm good.
Okay.
You're going to talk about tomorrow and later today is the WebEx
Yes.
on
Yes,
with the press conference.
yes. At 10 a.m., we hold a press conference at least once a week with all of our TV stations, newspaper, radio, whoever wants to be on there. And we give kind of an update on COVID this week. Tomorrow at the link from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., we are doing a COVID vaccination clinic with the National Guard. If you don't have an appointment, that you can't just show up. This is by appointment only. So I think everybody who is going to be there already has their appointment. So that's all I've got. Okay. We don't have anything else, right? Commission comments, no bids and contracts. Any unfinished business? New business, CARES Act funding.
So on Tuesday, you guys approved the January emergency fund expenses that were coming out of CARES that we needed to reimburse and report to the state. There were 3 bills that got coded to the wrong account that have now been corrected. So I need you to approve the additional $1,124 so that we can include that in our reporting. And it's for additional supplies and software for the vaccination distribution.
I'm good with it.
I move we approve D-10-14 for $1,124.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do
That's all
we
I
have
got.
any other issues to come before us?
So we talked about the bucket media stuff last week. We paid out 5,000 some odd change, and I know the mayor still wants to see some kind of media blitz or whatever. And I talked to her and said that I'm hearing stuff all the time on radio and TV, and I just don't think that's the best use of money. But we got talking about maybe getting some kind of message out there, and so I talked to Chrissy. I said, well, what if we took some of that money? Could Bucket Media possibly do HR or PR for us and media stuff? Chrissy says she's got somebody that would, has got background in health education, that would be able to take the WebEx meetings, take whatever message, take a snippet of that, get that out, push it out to our media. It's always the ideas that are coming up that day, that information. As information changes, if we need to push it out on Facebook, they can answer emails for Christy, they can free things up. She'd rather have somebody on part-time, and we could pay them like we're paying the tracers or the ones that are signing up the meetings. It'd be somebody on site too, so she'd have easy access to them if they had questions and stuff. So the money that we got left from the Bucket Media stuff we were gonna do is still out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we wanna spend it on something like that, we can put it on the agenda for Tuesday for approval, but
So we never sent Bucket Media through CARES.
It was through health.
It was in limbo at the end of the year when we were deciding whether there would be an extension or not. So it never got encumbered anywhere because it was in limbo and you guys canceled the contract prior to the extension or.
so
in
then that
same
5,000
timeframe.
yesterday's gonna come out of
It's
the
com-
CARES though.
It's coming out of CARES, but there's no set aside funding for that contract because it wasn't decided.
I thought we had put that money in the health department's. Okay.
We had talked about, because we were done, using the money that we had sent over for salaries to do things like that, but it got canceled in the shuffle and never got put in the budget anywhere.
maybe we can have Christie kind of come up with a figure for this. The thing is, everything changes weekly. I mean, what we get from Washington changes every week. The information we get from DHSS changes every week. It's kind of like how the vaccines are going out. And it's so if we try to work with a group, by the time they put together commercials or news stories, it's old news. It's
There's
not,
enough,
yeah.
There's enough of that out there right now. You
Yeah.
hear it all the time.
So I think,
I'm not for that, but I thought this was kind of a, kind of a happy medium or some kind of compromise too, and kind of gets, the mayor's still pushing for it. That's fine, she can push for it, but then this would actually help Christie and Chesney to be able to do stuff they need to do.
Yeah.
Rather than replying to a lot of emails, phone calls and stuff, so just want to run by you. If you're amenable to it, then we can put it on the agenda for approval Tuesday. We gotta get more specifics, minimum or maximum of 20 hours a week, $18 to $25 an hour is what we're paying for the signups. 18, tracing was 25, I believe, so.
and this would be somebody who's working for the health department.
She's got somebody in mind already
Yeah.
that had mentioned that if we have more stuff, she'd be interested and, she'll double check with them.
Yeah.
So,
I'm inclined to say yes. The message has got to be fresh. It's got to be today's news and
Yeah.
tomorrow's news, and not. It just has to be instant almost, and the latest update on things to keep people informed as to where the next clinic is, where to sign up, all of those things that are fresh to aid the citizens in getting this thing past us.
what was the amount of money we had left in CARES? Is 80,000 or something?
It's roundabout, yes. Just be aware, with ongoing expenses like that and not knowing when you're gonna end, CARES is gonna be kinda hard. We're trying to get it wrapped up, March timeframe so that we can be done and fully reported by June. So ongoing expenses like that would be a little harder to do out of there.
Do all of our department directors and our elected officials know that the timing is that you just mentioned, and that they may still have a few unmet needs that they forgot, missed?
We
I'm
probably
thinking of the
should
courts.
send that reminder out because we just got confirmation from the state last week that we got the extension.
Okay.
And the hard deadline is June for them, all of your reporting wrapped up by September. We're trying to, since we're down to a smaller amount, get that wrapped up quicker and.
Okay. My sense is a few department directors and elected officials have tripped over, we forgot this that went with the other thing,
And
so,
we are still getting a lot of invoices that weren't ready.
Yes.
That are COVID-related invoices that were really not planned on. They're small amounts.
Right.
Not big amounts, but we do want to use the COVID money for
Well,
that.
and that's where these emergency expenses are coming from, just the little things that are trickling in.
Could we earmark just a certain amount to the health department for public relations?
I would say you'd want to, once you get that data from,
And just put an amount, and it has to be used by June 31st?
we don't have a June 31st this year. We
Or
only
June
have,
June
30th?
30th.
we're cutting
I'm
it
going
off
by
the
his,
30th.
I'm going by his February, whenever he's getting married,
well, we were.
He's got me off.
June 31st. That's a new one.
Yeah, that's like February 31st. But I mean, I like the idea of having somebody that has direct communication and who would sit in on our press conferences and then could compile press releases to send out, put on Facebook, do whatever, put on our website, and get it out almost immediately. Because that was our problem, I think, with Bucket, is by the time it comes out, it's outdated, it's not, so,
Well, it allows us to control the message a little bit too, because you can listen to the meeting and then go read the paper, watch TV, and listen to the radio, and everything that they say is a different message or maybe a different snippet of it, and this would help us control what we want out there, and then they can elaborate if they want to, or if they have questions, then they can go to this person, and it just frees up time for the rest of the staff to do their jobs, to to give the vaccinations, to make scheduling and whatever else they gotta do with helping the schools and stuff right now, so. So we were just kicking it around and bouncing ideas off, and then that's kind of where it led to, and
Yeah, I mean, if she can come up with some kind of a price of
I mean,
a
even
cost.
if we do 2 months what I do, I mean, it's $4,000 or $5,000 just for, you know, a couple months, see how it works. If it works and we want to keep doing it after that, I know you're wanting to wrap it up, so,
Well, so I will tell you, the part-timers that we currently have in the health department to help with the vaccines and the registrations and things, we are using the funding that we gave to general fund at the end of the year. We are not using the CARES funding that's still sitting
So
in CARES. So
this
you can do
could-
the same thing.
okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying what's coming directly from CARES at the moment, or this reimbursement, we would like to have that portion wrapped up into March if we can. Maybe a few straggler invoices, but everything accounted for and assigned by end of March, so that all we're doing is paying those out.
I don't think it's gonna be hard to go through the rest of that other CARES money, and we haven't really heard anything else about anything at the courthouse either for any kind of
No, because
tent or anything.
we're looking at that. I need to,
They're gonna probably come up on June 15th and wanna talk about that. So, maybe we need to talk to them, tell them that we need to
We
do
need to
something.
figure that out.
We've been
sooner
talking about it
rather
for
than
2
later.
months now, but we really should have figured it out around Christmas time. You know, we may have had a tent out there for days like today. I don't know how many people are standing out there, but
Next week is gonna be awful.
yeah.
Cool.
yeah,
Well, I don't think
So-
any tent or carport would make you any warmer,
Right.
but it can cut the wind if there's wind.
so do we just wanna take that money that we put into salaries from the CARES money? Or do we wanna take it out of this CARES money? It would make sense to come out of the same place the other part-time stuff's coming out of, wouldn't it?
That's what we've done so far, because we weren't sure that the part-timers would be done within the time frame of the CARES money. So we were using what we've already taken for salaries, which is sitting in contingency, and moving it to their part-time to use. Then we have more flexibility as to how long they can work and things like that.
Yeah, I'm good with proceeding with it, so
Okay.
Yeah.
COVID doesn't have a timeline, so I don't.
it's gonna
know
be
if
done
it's
by
gonna-
June 31st.
And I talked to Donnie yesterday, I think there's a little confusion with the part-time security person over there. When the judge came over, we thought it was a part-time person. In his mind, it's still that security outfit. So that's not gonna be able to come out of the part-time, so where that's gonna come from. But we did transfer money into the part-time to cover. But he also thinks he could use that, but the security people are the ones taking the temperature, doing that kind of stuff. And I don't know.
Well, so I think in that circumstance, we need to pay them directly out of CARES,
I know, but we,
like we did before, but you're still a hard deadline of only through a certain time frame.
right, and we only had a contract at the end of the year, so.
So he
That's-
doesn't currently have a contract for that additional,
That's,
how is he doing that? They're just billing us through our
They haven't billed
regular?
us yet for January,
that's for the security detail or the marshals, the part-time marshal?
security detail.
Well, so
Okay.
that's the confusion. I think they
Okay.
came and asked for a part-time marshal, and then instead they're using the contract security person to do that.
Okay, which is probably cheaper anyway.
Well, he does say there is a part-timer that's probably working mostly off COVID, so he could use both of them.
Of course.
Yeah, I think he's got another one coming back after next week if the doctor's all okay. So, that'll help. Well, I might talk to Donnie too then and let him know we need to get moving.
Mhm.
If they wanna do something over there, we need to get moving on it sooner than later.
Well, Greg was going to get prices, so I'll check with him again and see. Because I think we had actually kind of decided maybe one of those portable, those carports as opposed to a tent. Because we do, that, we get some wind on these corners. I don't know how long
And those portable heaters everything might be a good idea.
Is it over on Monroe you're talking?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I will check with Greg again, see if. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I had.
So what do we need to do with Christie then, just,
Can we put her on the agenda next week and just discuss it?
okay, cause I think if we just say, let's do it as a temporary thing and up to 2 months if you wanna use it, and if in 2 months we still need to keep going, we've got the money in there, there's no deadline for it, cause the money's coming from the contingency that we put in there,
Right.
so.
I'd almost be more inclined for like 3 months. I'd be hoping by May, we're gonna have the vaccines in all the pharmacies and our doctor's offices and clinics, but you hope. So what, the president said so. Okay. Okay, you want to recess, Eric?
Motion to recess, or to adjourn and recess until 4:30.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
alrighty, thank you guys.
That is the next step. They will be